Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the Daily SPY Report for Friday, February 4th, 2022. As usual, I want to encourage you to please click like each and every time you watch the Daily SPY Report. It does help us get the word out and be found on YouTube when people search for SPY analysis, S&P 500, so forth and so on. And also subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. You'll be notified each and every time the Daily SPY Report has been uploaded for your viewing, which is important to see it, obviously, before the opening bell when the material is relevant and you can prepare for the day ahead in terms of your trading and analysis. Let's take a look at the charts. This is kind of the big picture. We did settle a week and a half or so ago below. Actually, was it 2 weeks ago? I think that was on a Friday when we settled below that 443.97 long-term channel bottom, which did at the time elicit a meaningful sell signal into later February, anticipating at the time just call it the low 400 area as a met objective, where the market does encounter long-term support. But on Monday, we pushed back above that 443.97 channel bottom, and in the process elicited a 3 to 5 day buy signal up to the 458.25 channel bottom, where we topped out in a decided fashion on Wednesday, fell off in a meaningful way on Thursday, and so you could say the 3 to 5 day time horizon is still kind of two-sided between 443.97 and 458.25. Obviously, the big question is, what is the dynamic as we continue through February trade? And I'll just say that if we close below 443.97, it remains heavy. And if we close above 458.25, well, I'll get to that in a moment because there's another level above it. Let's take a look at that, actually. This is sort of, you can zoom in here. I'll show a kind of a blown up version of this in a moment, but you really do have kind of a convergence right now that is narrowing every day between 458.25, that former channel bottom we tested on Wednesday, and 462.42, which is a descending channel top. That area all comes together later next week, and it can absorb buying through next week if we test it today, and from there, yes, we can fall back into the 443.97 area. Now, I'm still leaning toward this upper resistance area, and this is just ever so slightly that this 458.25 to 462.42 area just might be the more meaningful of the two in terms of comparing that upper resistance with the support at 443.97. And that is mostly due to the fact, it's actually entirely due to the fact that the NASDAQ is still sort of in a heavy mode of trade. And that is through February, having settled below that 375.25 channel bottom a couple of weeks ago in the triple Q, then indicating 326.5 as a completed objective. At the time, we're talking 3 to 5 weeks. We're 2 weeks into it, still 2 weeks and a couple of days. And so we still may actually reach 326.5 over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I would invite you to watch the triple Q for that analysis. But the takeaway here is the triple Q remains heavy below 375.25 and quite easily can continue south to that 326.5 area over the next few weeks. And that being said, then it's just a matter of time before the SPY violates 443.97, and that actually may be today. Let's zoom in here a little bit. There's your resistance once again, 458.25 to 462.42. That area able to contain buying through next week. And below which, that long-term channel bottom at 443.97 is in reach today, perhaps, where we could bottom out through next week and rally back into the upper 450s, low 460s within 3 to 5 days. I'm going to blow up just one more time because I want to show you that if we break 443.97 today, and it may well happen, then I think we're likely to test 436.81. And yes, that looks like a trend line off of those lows, but it's actually a rising 2/3 speed line using the move low from a week and a half or so ago against Wednesday's high. And it is sort of trend defining on a short-term basis. And it is actually our downward pivot point into later February. So, if we do close below 443.97, and bear in mind that if you look at that on a weekly chart, we have not really settled above it at this week. So we settled below it the previous week, last week, and we've pushed through it on an intra-week basis on Monday. But if we close today below 443.97, that still looks pretty heavy on a longer-term weekly chart, still allowing for the low 400 area over the next 3 to 5 weeks or so. And I'm just putting this 436.81 out there just to let you know that if we were to close below 436.81 today, and I think it's a bit of a long shot, but if we did say over the next few trading days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, then that actually more aggressively pivots the market south into later February, and that low 400 area then anticipated in as little as 1 to 2 weeks. So this is sort of the dynamic right here, 443.97 floor today through next week, 458.25 ceiling through next week. And as I've been saying, we could trade inside that zone well into next week. Let's take a look at the support and resistance for today. You can see the 443.97 long-term channel bottom. I have reduced it from a 4-star multi-week support resistance to just a weekly support right now. And as you can see, well above 458.25 to 462.42 is also a 3-star weekly containment level. It's kind of ping pong activity that may play out through next week between those two. Now, upside today, if we get a nice recovery rally, 453.38 is a decent level to sort of, if you're an aggressive day trader, to stick your neck out and play the short side there. Or if you're long from 443.97, you may exit a bit there at 453.38 because we could top out there for a better part of the day. But if we push or open above 453.38, then 458.25 in reach again within the day. And this is that 458.25 former channel bottom that is followed up by the 462.42 descending channel top. Once again, this area can contain buying through next week. And once tested, we could fall back into that 443, 444 handle within 3 to 5 days. But if we do close today below 462.42, and that is a long shot, I don't see that happening today. But if, say, by the end of next week, we close above that 462.42 descending channel top, then I think we have a good February low, probably a good Q1 low, 479.88, then expected within several weeks. Another the scenario of closing above 462.42, that 495.77 long-term trend line then in reach within several weeks. One more thing I'm just going to mention, that if we do close today below 443.97, and bear in mind, I don't have the weekly chart here. I wish I would have. I'm not going to scramble back and redo all this because the same channel bottom at 443.97 today is at 444.62 as memory serves on the weekly chart. So if we close today below 443.97, we've also closed below the weekly channel bottom, this after having closed below it a couple of weeks ago. Bear in mind, once again, that this activity above it is intra-week only. So, on a weekly, week-by-week bar chart, it would be closing below long-term channel support and closing again below long-term channel support, still maintaining that 398.75 to 401.35 area as a viable 3 to 5 week downside target. And this is in total correspondence also with the triple Q right now, the way it exists. So I think that that's all that really needs to be said for Friday's Daily SPY report. I'll be back Monday. Actually, I'll be back on Sunday afternoon for Monday's Daily SPY report. Thank you for watching. Please click like each and every time and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back on Sunday with Monday's Daily SPY report. You have a great weekend.